Breaking news from the Winter Olympics in Milan in ladies figure skating. American Alyssa Liu brought home the gold. She was in third place after the short program, but vaults to first after the free skate today. She becomes the first American woman to win gold at an Olympic Games since 2002. Alyssa Liu, your Olympic champion in ladies figure skating. In women's hockey, the U.S. topped Canada in the gold medal game 2-1 in overtime. U.S. pulled even late in the third on a goal by Hillary Knight. Then Megan Keller's goal 4 minutes into overtime won it for the Americans, the third time they've won gold at the Olympic Games. American speed skater Jordan Stolz took home the silver medal in the 1,500 meters. News just in from the NBA as ESPN reports Commissioner Adam Silver told the league's GMs that anti-tanking rules plan to be in place in time for next season. I'm Dan Beyer.
I want my own studio.
Oh.
Can I be a diva today?
Wow, what's the matter?
I just want my own studio.
Oh, your microphone smell like butt cheeks?
Smell like cheeks. Everybody messes with the buttons. I can never get situated the right way.
Oh, look at you.
I do want to say big thanks and shout-outs to Dan Beyer and Monty for slaying it while we were filling in for DP.
Yeah, look at you kissing ass.
Yeah, that's no knock on them. They're the best. It's these overnight weekend fellas that I'm complaining about.
You know what? You talk. I got to turn on extra lights.
See what I mean?
No, Spot's not here, and
No.
he's like, who turned off the lights?
Exactly. People pressing buttons. It's sabotage, they tell you. Sabotage.
Looks like a morgue in there.
Beastie Boy style, but we're Covino and Rich, and we be rocking out. Let's go. Broadcasting live from the Fox Sports Radio studio. And if you miss any of today's show, you got to catch the podcast. Search Covino and Rich wherever you get your podcast. After the show, podcast goes up. Danny G works hard on it, puts the best of out there. But you got to rate it 5 stars, even if you hate it, because anything less is uncivilized. And you could watch what you hear at Covino and Rich FSR. Watch it now, streaming live on YouTube. Covino and Rich FSR. I'm the diva, Steve Covino.
Well, they do call us Complaino and Bitch behind our back.
That's right. And I just, I don't know, I just felt like complaining a little bit.
Okay, cool.
Glad I got that off my chest.
Well, you know
I'm
what?
Covino, that is Rich. Sam is here, Danny's here, and Dan Beyer is here with your updates, so stick around for that.
Did you hear the enthusiasm in Dan Beyer's voice? Alyssa Liu, gold medal in the Olympics?
Absolutely.
Can I
Women's figure skating.
Can I throw out a rando hypothetical? Actually, it's not even a hypothetical. It's just a random dumb question. All right. Let's go back to 1980 until now. Let's roughly go 45, 46 years.
Like Mary Lou Retton days?
I'm glad you said Mary Lou Retton. If I were to tell you, Steve Covino, your homework assignment in the next 5 minutes, what are the memorable names or moments in your lifetime? Let's go from 80 until
Scott Hamilton.
right now. Immediately what comes to mind for me.
Greg Louganis.
Greg Louganis hitting his head on the diving board.
Dan and Dave.
Dan and Dave. I have the same ones written down. Definitely Nancy Kerrigan and Tanya Harding.
Usain
Why?
Bolt.
Why? Bolt is a good one.
You didn't like Scott Hamilton? I thought that was a legendary
Do
one.
you think so?
What? Yes.
Of course, Miracle.
I agree with Covino. Yes.
Right?
Right?
You got you know.
Yeah, he was a big name, and he's still a big commentator in the world of
I'm a
Scott
bigger fan
skating.
of Hamilton, the Broadway show. Much cooler.
Don't
Olympic
forget Carl
names?
Lewis.
Carl Lewis.
That's a really great one. Yeah,
Of
Carl
course,
Lewis.
Michael Phelps and Ryan Lochte.
As an
you know.
80s kid, though, and I think of the Wheaties box and all that, I think Mary Lou Retton was one of the bigger names that we grew up knowing for sure.
Oh, who was the Bella Carosi? Who did he train again? Kerry Strug?
Yeah, that's a big one.
Right?
Who
Did I name
else
them all?
comes to mind?
Because I'm fresh off of that documentary on Netflix, The Boys of 1980, Miracle. Not the movie. The documentary is fantastic. I mentioned it last week, but it really is good, and it's a great way to, I guess, attempt to unify a country that fights about everything.
Well, congrats.
USA!
And can I just say, when it comes to speed skating, I'm really impressed.
Jake Paul's girlfriend's ass?
I'm just saying, the dumpies do not make me grumpy.
What's her name, Juddah?
All I'm saying is if I'm ever single again, I might be hanging around the speed skating rink.
I saw someone put together a compilation.
If I want to work out my glutes, I think I'm going to take up a new hobby.
I saw someone put together a compilation of how good-looking these European speed skating women are. They're all in elite shape, and they're like, you know the test of how you know someone's really hot? When they still look hot with that little ski cap on, their little skating cap.
I mean, let me preface this by saying I'm impressed with their level of skill.
Of course,
but I'm also
dude.
impressed with how it must work out their posterior to be adult and professional about it. And by the way, Scott Hamilton on TV right as we speak.
Well, you and Dan Byer must be
Agreed.
You must be freaking pumped.
This actually came up in a bit of our conversation. We had a conversation yesterday centered on the Olympics, and Scott Hamilton's name came up.
Right there. I mean, he's right in front of your face.
No, why don't you Dan Byer go high five right now?
No, but you like downplayed it. He's on TV as we speak. How funny
Scott
is that?
Hamilton, congratulations.
But you asked, like, who comes to mind as a kid, man? He was the guy for sure. So,
but it is
congrats
funny.
again.
Of course, my daughter will nonstop want to watch videos of gymnastics. Who comes to mind with gymnastics? Simone Biles.
I mean, current day for sure.
Any other final names before we move along? Because it is Olympic season. You casually
Gabby Douglas.
Gabby Douglas was a big one. Yeah, I'll tell you, it's a weird type of celebrity, right? Where they're amateur athletes, they're not paid, but if they're good enough, they're household names and they get endorsements, and you hope they make some money because there's nothing more aggravating than when some listen, I get anyone that goes to the pros deserves it. But when you see like the elite of the elite at the Olympics and you're like, they don't get paid anything, but a middle reliever or like the guy on the bench in the NBA makes $50 million. You're like, but this guy or girl makes nothing? I know, it's for the love of the sport. But they should make something.
What
but
up,
I get
Sam?
it. I get it.
I have to give a shout out to someone from Iowa. Do you guys remember Shawn Johnson, the gymnast? Woman. She goes by Shawn Johnson East. You know, she was very, very pint
Way to make it.
I believe she won a gold medal.
If I said, yeah,
Yes,
bro, of course.
She's been in some reality TV stuff as well.
Oh, this is going all the way back to 2008.
I only know people that are on Traitors, but
I just got nothing but crickets from you guys. But
There's
yeah,
a woman runner that it's not coming to mind for me, but I'm like, how am I not thinking of this?
who, Flojo?
There you go.
There you
That's
go.
one, but is that who I was thinking of, though? I feel like there was more current day than I'm thinking of. But
Jackie
anyway,
Joyner Kersey.
There you go. There's another one.
And
All right.
and we have this whole conversation, and because they're pros and it was allowed, we forgot the hype of the original Dream Team. Was there anything more mammoth when we were kids? And it's like, wait, you're telling me?
I think it
You're telling me that
brings
Michael
a different
Jordan
level of pedigree once they hit professional level. Like when I think of fighters, I think of a lot of the George Foremans of the world, the Muhammad Ali's of the world.
But I mean, you're downplaying what I just said. I said
Deontay
when we
Wilders of
saw
the
Michael Jordan take the court with Magic and Bird and Barkley and Ewing, like
For sure.
that wasn't for a little
How
boy.
about De La Hoya, the Golden Boy?
So this kind of ties in. So our angle yesterday I was watching the men's free skate the night, or the women's short program the night before, and I just said I think that figure skating is the ultimate Olympic sport. And so when we were talking about the sports, everybody kind of had their nominee, but basketball and hockey were put aside because of the professionalism of it. There's no doubt they were exciting to watch, but when you're talking about like how we look at the Olympics or the Olympians, I think we look at those teams different as we would a Michael Phelps or a Flojo.
Couples
or
figure skating will mesmerize me. I am fascinated by the skill, the finesse, the beauty of it. I know that sounds corny, but when you watch two people that are so in sync on the ice, flipping and dipping, and the guy's throwing her up, and she does three, like, would they be like triple Lutzes? Is that the
Triple
word?
Lindies.
The Lindies?
Lindies.
Oh, the triple Lindy. Yeah,
That's
okay.
the technical term, yeah.
I am fascinated, and I will never fake knowing much about the Olympics. And anyone that does is either a fanatic or they're faking it, because when this comes around every 4 years, we're all sort of amateur fans. Like, don't tell me you knew any of these names. Who's the main guy that let everyone down? That's mean. That let himself down. Who was the guy that
Ilya Malinin?
Yeah, the quad god.
We had to do a commercial read, and I was like, yeah, I hope she does well. And they're like, it's a dude. If you know Ilya Malinin's name before the Olympics, then you just must be very into skating, because these are the names that jump out of you, you learn them, and then everyone knows them. But before the Olympics...
How about Shaun White?
Shaun White. I mean, that's
props to him, yeah.
three-time gold medalist.
Yeah, but I think the Olympics are very special in that all of a sudden you're given these names that you never heard before, and all of a sudden it's like, I love them.
I also think that it's interesting, and specifically just because we're on the heels of the figure skating and how the names resonate still to this day. So if I were to say, and I know she's not American, but Katarina Witt was,
Of course.
everybody knows her name.
Yep.
Tara Lipinski, traitors, but also
Traitors? Are you a traitor?
yes, Christy Yamaguchi,
Dan Byer, I feel like you'd be a loyal. You're not a traitor. Is he
faithful.
a loyal?
I'd be a faithful.
Faithful. Oh, he's a faithful.
Maybe I'd be recruited to be a traitor. You never know. But we know these names.
Johnny
It's-
Weir, I mean, of course.
Yeah, another skater as well that we know.
Paulo Anton Ono.
You know,
Like,
What would Brian Boitano
He's
do?
a speed skater.
I'm just
But
throwing out
Boitano,
names.
yes.
Brian
But my
Boitano.
point is, from what like you guys are talking about, like there's celebrity, like when you hit,
You hit.
there's yes, and so like Alyssa Liu just won, so now her life changes obviously for the rest of her life.
Dan
She's-
Byer, can I be honest with you? This is just real talk. When I heard your excitement at the top of the hour and you're like, Alyssa Liu, gold medal, I got pumped. It might be embarrassing. We are on a sports channel. The first time I ever heard her name. But I guarantee I will now know her.
She was
forever.
also in that read, by the way. So it was Ilya Malinin, Amber Glenn, and Alyssa Liu.
I let him do that line. But no, I get excited because I feel like they do deserve these props.
Sure.
They, when you're the greatest in the world, you deserve those accolades. If everyone knows random idiots on dating shows, if you know the cast of Love is Blind, but you don't know an Olympian gold medalist, that's
The
shame
best
on
of the
us,
best.
right?
Absolutely. So yeah, I feed off that excitement too. So thanks, Dan.
Dan Byer, I know you're not a Rich Davis guy, but your excitement with that read worked.
All right,
I
good.
was like, man, Dan Byer's pumped.
It also just happened,
Yeah.
and I think we're past the days. I mean, it was shown on TV. So the old days of spoiler alert, don't watch it
Yeah.
until this evening. You'll get to see it this evening, but it was on TV if you wanted to watch it right now.
A name that you'll remember moving forward. You could add to the list, but Dan Byer's right too in the sense that some names just pop a lot harder. They don't have to be American names. They're just names you remember.
Katarina
from,
Witt.
Yeah, from
yeah, right.
from the Olympics for sure.
Yamaguchi. I just saw something on like Yahoo News or something, or Yahoo Sports, where it was like 20-something years later, and listen,
Sasha Cohen was female skater. Michelle Kwan. They didn't even win gold, but
Michelle Kwan. Yeah.
yeah.
Fun fact: Nancy Kerrigan won silver and then bronze in 2 different games, but never a gold medal. But that, to me, is a story that, looking back, when I'll keep it clean. Don't worry, Sam. Get your hand off the button. You know when you try to describe to a kid now what happened with Bill Clinton and Monica Lewinsky, they would think you're lying. You're like, no, there was like a blue dress and a cigar and what?
Cigar.
They would think you're lying. You're like, no, the president, and then in the Oval Office, they would think you're telling them a fib. If you told someone now, like, yeah, and then these 2 women were so competitive that she hired some goons to take a club to the leg of the other skater.
Jeff Gillooly and his goons. Yeah, man. That is one of the wildest stories ever.
Gillooly and his goons would
Now
be
you're
a great,
inspiring
that
me,
would be a
Rich.
great indie rock band, right? Gillooly and his goons.
You're inspiring me to watch I, Tonya tonight, perhaps.
But isn't that hard to believe? And then Tanya Harding's saying, I don't know what you're talking about. Nancy Kerrigan, why? And goes to win a medal. Like
She
it's
shook it off. She was
it's-
fine like a day later.
Dude, it's like a almost unbelievable story. And while I can't fake the funk, I'm not a big Olympics fan. I do think there's like Dan Byer said, a cool celebrity that comes along, and a well-deserved one, when you perform well on the not only the national, the world stage. It's just a cool, well-deserved. In a world where there's so many people we know that, let's be honest, it's not really well-deserved. Like, people because they're on OnlyFans. People because they have a hot ass. Someone because they're a dumb reality star. This is the reason you should know someone.
Agreed. So congrats
We
again.
live in the upside down.
We're
where
shallow people.
We live in the upside down where there's so many people that realistically you shouldn't.
Yeah, for the most ridiculous reasons. We're good at that as Americans, unfortunately.
You know the crazy contestant on The Bachelor, but you don't know the best figure skater in the world. This is when I think these moments are cool. And the backstories are great.
Shakur Stevenson, Olympian.
Yeah.
I know all the fighters. As far as Winter Olympics, I named all mine. Shaun White was the last one I could think of.
I got another good name.
Go ahead, Sam.
Hit
From
me.
the 90s. This just sticks in my brain forever. Oksana Bayul.
Dude, Oksana Bayul is definitely.
Yeah, I totally remember that. I do. You're right.
Just a name that in Ukrainian figure skater.
That's a good one. All right. So enjoy your Olympics, your Winter Olympics.
Yeah, I hope you. Thank you guys for rolling with that. I know we had no thought of talking about the Olympics, but I think these names, and I was Sam, thank you for bringing it home with that one, because Oksana Bayul, like,
Totally remember that.
what a rando name.
And that leads us to something called Was It Rigged? Do you believe in it? What conspiracies do you buy into? Because according to Pablo Torre.
Oh, he moved off of Belichick and Hudson?
Yeah, this guy gets fixated. Apparently, Pablo just gets fixated on one thing and blows up a story.
Yeah.
He's got a good formula going on.
And see, Rich ignored the Kawhi Clipper story as well. He acted like that didn't happen.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Pablo Torre, one of the only guys I don't think we ever met when we worked at ESPN.
He's a talented guy.
Yeah, super great investigator
Yeah, he's a
and
listen.
writer, journalist.
Can I tell you this? Maybe for the wrong reasons, because I think Pablo Torre, I'll give him props, super talented, investigative type of guy, but I'm not a big fan of gotcha type of people.
Well, it seems like he found his niche. Like his new formula, his blueprint seems to be, well,
Gotcha.
let me investigate something. I'll find something juicy, and it becomes something he fixates on. And for whatever reason, these stories seem to become a big deal. So based on that, we think we might have the next big story, the hot story, based on his findings and blueprint and discoveries.
And I'll tell you what, man, I get it. I'm just telling you, I'll quote Sebastian Maniscalco when he talks about leaving bad reviews on Yelp. It's like, if you have the salmon and you don't like it, what are you, a tattletale?
Tattletale?
I'm not a
Who's
guy.
got the time?
I'm not the type of guy. If you see someone I don't know, cheating on their husband or wife at a restaurant out of town, are you the type of person that goes back and tells their spouse? Or are you like, I'm going to mind my own business? I'm going to mind my own business.
Rich, didn't you see one of your childhood friends?
True story.
Their dads at Denny's or eating at a local diner with another woman.
It's close. It wasn't a Denny's. It was an IHOP. Get this, I was saying. I saw one of my neighbors, one of my neighborhood kids, a kid I played kill the man with the ball, tackle football, one of the neighborhood kids. I saw his dad at a Long Island IHOP, but he wasn't with the wife.
Yeah, but you know what?
He
It's
saw
funny
me-
how
he-
your
Dun,
childhood
dun, dun.
brain could just make stuff up. Maybe it was his sister. Maybe it was a family member. Maybe he was with a coworker.
I saw him across the IHOP. I hid behind the syrups.
Private investigator Rich Davis, the local gumshoe.
Didn't he look at you, point, and give you the throat slit?
He looked at me.
You don't say nothing.
He looked at me,
You
gave me
see
the little.
nothing.
Hey,
You got it, kid?
you see nothing, kid. And then I was like, yes, hold on. Yes, Rudy Tooty, Fresh and Fruity. Thank you. Wait a minute.
God.
That's
I can't believe it.
That's John's dad.
John's dad's a cheater.
But guess what I didn't do? I didn't come back with a film crew and expose the guy. I'm like, yeah, maybe
Joey
his wife.
Greco style.
In my mind, I'm like, yeah, maybe his wife's not giving it up.
So
Let him let him mind his own business.
the story that Pablo Torre heard from other people that the Dallas Mavericks draft pick was rigged in the past year? I never bought into the frozen envelope theory, let alone this one. I don't buy into it.
That is one.
I do find it.
Come on, you don't believe the one?
I find it to be coincidental. Like, oh, the same year Nico Harrison makes these whack-ass trades. Oh, they get the first-round draft pick and it saves the Mavericks and everything. It did seem interesting and odd. Like the timing was making me say,
It was a little sus.
It was a little suspect, but I don't buy into it. Just like I don't buy into 1985, frozen envelope, the New York Knicks get Patrick Ewing. You mean to tell me out of all the teams, he could differentiate which envelope was the coldest? That's ridiculous.
If
to
I
me.
told you,
I don't think I'd be able to pick the one. They'd all feel a little cold after
you're
a while.
If it was
no?
dry ice. Dry ice is very cold.
you're
It'd
telling me
burn your hand.
You're telling me if I was Sam,
Yeah.
took, I don't know, 20-something envelopes or how many there were, put them in a little spinny thing.
And you're just, spinning them around. And you think you could find that one that quick? Get out of
You're
here.
rubbing my meat hooks all over the
I don't think
envelopes.
so. I don't buy that.
yeah.
And then you're putting all that faith into the fact that you did get the right one, and maybe you just didn't feel a chilly one and grab it.
Ooh.
That, you got the New York Knicks, and they get Patrick Ewing. No way.
So
I find that just, again,
based on the
coincidence.
investigative reporting, of Pablo Torre. He said that right after that lottery, he was at an event, and I think I got this right. He had bumped into two anonymous owners that both were in agreement that the lottery was rigged. We talk about the 1985 envelope. There's other things. Now, if there were to ever be a rigged NBA lottery, which I'm not accusing anyone of anything, knowing it should have been, and I think we could all agree, when Zion, I'm not saying Zion's a bust, but when we thought Zion was the next thing, it would have made sense for the Knicks or a big market team to get him. When he ended up in New Orleans, that to me was like, well, if you're going to rig something, this is what they should have rigged. Like, the fact that Zion ended up where Anthony Davis desperately was trying to get out of, I was like, another good guy, another big-time future star goes to...
Yeah, if you think everything's so rigged, then explain things like that.
Well, they couldn't rig it for every up-and-coming star.
I mean, I guess
because that would draw too much attention.
But I thought, if anything, Danny, in that draft, the world was hoping, like, all right, because we didn't know Zion would end up being good, but not everyone thought he was the next thing. Made sense to go to a cool team. No offense to New Orleans. You're not that cool team. Any other sports conspiracies?
Well, then it always brings me back to, referees were shady in the NBA, so maybe there is more to stuff like that.
The bloody sock comes to mind. That's something people argue about.
Right. Are there ones that you buy into these conspiracies, and are you buying into this Pablo Torre story, and do you think this will be one of those exploding investigative stories that break the glass on some controversy in the NBA?
I mean, he just mentioned it on a podcast, so I think it'd be different if he had put out like a story and a headline on it. You know what I mean?
This is how things become a story.
True.
So do you think that this was, or the lottery, like Rich said, was rigged? That's the story right now. Are there other ones you believe, conspiracies you buy into? You know, I'll always buy into those alien stories. I mean, Obama admitted this past week that
he walked it back.
Nah, he said it, man. Aliens exist. He didn't say in what form, or for all we know, they're tiny little nothings, right?
Yeah, he said they're
planets.
real.
Who knows? I don't think they're walking around. Or he said he's never seen them anyway.
They walk among us like Men in Black.
Yeah, we don't know. He did say it, though. He did say it. And the controversy was that the interviewer of the podcast didn't really follow up on it. His next question was, and when he became president, what was the first thing you wanted to know? And he's like, well, do aliens exist?
He went back to it.
He went back to it. So he did say, yeah, so of course I'm always going to believe that.
Covino,
even though we don't have any, sort of physical proof in front of us.
I mean, Covino, you did tell me you thought that lizard people lived amongst us.
I never said that.
Okay.
That's an X-Files sort of thing. I think David Duchovny said that.
What do you guys think?
Dude, how about the Tuck rule? I'm a Raiders fan. I got to ask you guys about that. Was it a code red that was called in? Did the NFL want the Patriots
when it comes to
advance?
I don't buy those
because
things.
I think the Raiders
at
that
the
time
only shadiness I find in sports is in the world of fighting. I find that people take dives, judges are paid off. It's a shady world. Like Rich and I have done a lot in the world of, and you too, Danny G, in the past few years. You see how shady the fight game could be.
You have the script every year for the boxing world.
Yes, in fact, yes, I do get a script every year. But it feels like it's a shadier atmosphere, right or wrong, Rich?
There's something to be said.
I'll buy into boxing conspiracy, like that dude took a dive, or these judges are shady, or that was a fix, or that was a total robbery because the fix was in. When it comes to other sports, I'm not buying it. I'm not.
It's hard to get current players who are fighting for their jobs and their livelihood.
You know where else I would buy it? Maybe in like a horse race.
Covino, to not give it your all. Like when people say, "Oh, that team's tanking," the NBA is the easiest sport to put out a whack roster and just not be able to compete. But when you have 53 guys on an NFL roster, it's very hard to be like, yeah, we're just going to lose on purpose because guys are going to try to sack the quarterback. Guys are going to try to make catches. Guys have incentives. Guys have a reason.
And keep it secret.
Yeah.
You got to.
Yeah, I don't believe
too many people involved, too many moving parts.
You know what? There was a guy that have I told you guys about the unfortunate sauna talks I have to have, or that I hear at my gym. my goodness, some of the biggest boneheads in the world just start yapping. And I'm not one of those boneheads, believe it or not.
For once.
This guy was talking to anyone who would listen to him, and he was trying to sell some conspiracy that Sam Darnold in the Super Bowl, his rushing total went over, so they told Sam Darnold to run backwards 5 yards
Get negative yards.
and get negative yards so that the under could hit.
Well,
And
that did happen.
it happened, but this guy at the gym was trying to convince everyone that he's like, yeah, because they, you know what they did? They put in the call. I'm like, and I so badly want to be like, so you think that Mike McDonald got a phone call on the sideline? It was like,
Yeah.
Hey, Mike,
People really do think
Mike,
that
I
all
know
the
the
time.
game. I know it's a Super Bowl, and the game's without not within reach anymore. Can you have Sam Darnold run backwards 7 yards and take a knee? That way, the under could hit. Do you really think that?
I blame Scott Van Pelt and Stanford Steve for this and Bad Beats.
Bad Beats is a great segment.
Oh, it is. It's great. So when Indiana and Fernando Mendoza played Iowa earlier this year, I think Indiana was like a 6.5 point favorite, and they were leading 20-13, and to kill clock, and the game was over. They just needed to take a knee. Mendoza just starts running towards his own end zone and runs out for a safety, and Iowa loses 20-15. I think even after the game, Mendoza addressed it. He's like, "I'm sorry about the 2 points there," and everyone's like, "Huh, what's going on?"
Oh, man.
Well, a
Yeah.
bad beat doesn't necessarily mean conspiracy or rigged either. That just means it happened, and I don't think that someone made a call ever. But when it comes to the NFL and football, people always come back to the script. So conspiracies you buy into, are you buying into this Dallas Mavericks story, according to Pablo Torre? And we got old school and 50 hits and more. We're going to talk some World Baseball Classic right here on the Covino and Rich Show, Fox Sports Radio.
Now, are you ready to tackle your financial goals? With
Yes.
Webull, you don't have to sit on the sidelines. Whether you're a rookie or a pro, Webull puts you in the game with tools that help you make the moves you want. Trade stocks, options, ETFs, or you can play the long game with cash management, retirement accounts, all on one platform.
Webull. Webull's app pairs advanced analytics with real-time data so you can read the defense, adjust your strategy, and stay in control. And now meet Vega, your personal AI market assistant. Ask questions like, analyze my watch list, or what's the outlook for this stock? And get a real-time stock analysis, volatility, insights, and fundamentals that turn complex signals into plain English.
Yeah, if you want a wider view of the field, use Portfolio X-Ray to spot trends, manage risk, and optimize performance of your portfolio. So stop punting away your financial future. Join Webull's community to discuss markets, trending topics, and ideas with fellow investors.
Download the Webull app today on mobile or desktop. Webull, Webull, or visit Webull.com.
Webull Financial LLC, member SIPC FINRA. Investing involves risk. For more information, visit Webull.com/disclosures.
I'm a fan of Stu Gatz being added to the lineup. And producer Mike, the whole team there.
Great guy, fun guy. I've been a longtime fan for sure.
And I feel like every day now he's been getting our back with this Colin thing where Colin stole.
Well, it's just great content.
You
He's really
say
just using
getting
you
our
for
back,
content.
maybe stirring the pot is kind of how I see
feel like,
it.
no, he's like,
but I'm glad he's on our side.
Maybe
but-
throwing gasoline on it.
Yeah,
is a better way to say
exactly.
it.
I thought we handled it.
No, gasoline. No, Daddy Yankee stayed home. Sorry. But I will say I love the fun and the vibe that Stu Gatz is bringing because this Colin Fernando Mendoza thing just won't go away, and I sort of love it to the point where our good pal, the producer from Colin, Tui, reached out and he's like, guys, I have nothing to do with this. Like, we now have Colin's producers like
the truth
butting
is,
in. I love it.
We were sniped, but it wasn't from Colin. It wasn't from his producers that we're pals with.
Okay.
It was some other ancillary producer
Yeah,
there
it
who
was
made it happen.
It was a freelance talent booker that was there on site at Radio Row.
And we already said that, yeah, of course we were disappointed, but we weren't mad at anybody. But we were there on standby. To add insult to injury, we planned for this interview and we were excited about it for weeks. And then we had to sit there on stage and watch Colin interview Fernando from a screen. Like, we were actually there. You know what I mean?
Fernando?
Come back.
Do you guys understand what we're saying?
Yeah, well, dare I say, I don't think I could use some of these words on the air, but like, there's a category in porn for this when a guy just sits there and he's like, I felt like I was the dude sitting in the chair watching, someone with my girl.
Yeah, that's exactly what was happening.
You guys are upset. I got a Fernando tattoo in San Francisco on Wednesday.
And by the way, we did know the night before, but we did show up the next morning just in case we were able to squeeze some time out of it and make it happen anyway.
Fernando Gate. It's a thing.
Turns out we weren't able to, so we had to watch. Like, oh.
But I just love the fact that
But we understood. I understood. I don't want to speak on behalf of everybody. I understood.
Our new pal, Stu Gotts. I mean, talk about a teammate. This guy's a clubhouse guy. He's a locker room guy.
Is he? I mean, I like to think that. Or
Listen,
is he, again, just
nothing
starting
better.
stuff?
Wait, I have one bone to pick with Stu guys.
Nothing better than someone that stirs the pot. So him, Izzy, that whole crew.
They're fun, and we hung out with them at the staff dinner. They're good guys.
Know whose name I forget? And I feel like I talked to him the most.
Taylor.
The young kid. That kid.
Don't feel bad about forgetting him. He don't know.
Yeah, he said you guys were the same guy.
Yeah, he don't know if I'm you or you're
well, I
me.
feel
He said
better.
you were Rich Covino.
Because
I
I forget the kid's name, and I met him 100 times. But he's such a good young kid. Izzy, of course, we all know from ESPN and Stu Gotts, but
Who?
a good team.
Is he ripped, handsome, that guy?
Goody. Israel Gutierrez.
Yeah.
No, when Izzy joined the team, it just Covino was mad because he went down one notch of in-shape hosts on Fox Sports Radio. Like, now you're behind Jonas, LeVar. You're behind a lot of people now.
Look, at 2 days in a row, though, Stu Gotts has claimed that Fernando was his interview, and because he wasn't going to be there on Friday, he graciously gave it to you guys because it was happening in his time slot. Wrong buzzer. No, it wasn't. It was in the morning. We all had to wake our butts up early, which is why we were on the stage during Colin's show, West Coast time.
I'll let him think that, though, Danny.
Yeah,
let him think that. He's our pal.
As long as he has our back, I'm cool with
If
that.
we were on The Traders, we'd have a little alliance with Stu Gotts right now. Let's vote off
so then
music.
Let's give the facts then here
Yes.
from the source, right?
Yeah.
We're the source. Danny G, Spot, our team, we coordinated this interview a long time ago. The facts are we were supposed to interview Fernando Mendoza at Radio Row. It was one of the biggest gets for Super Bowl week.
He was on our list to start the week.
He was on our list. We were really excited about it. We were prepared to do it. We found out the night before that, man, we're not going to have the time because Colin's getting the interview. We didn't know how that happened. We assumed that someone saw his name on our list and they tried to snag it. Turns out it was a third-party booker that sort of swiped it. Colin had no knowledge of it. Neither did his producers that were pals with Tui and the rest of the crew.
Right.
We did show up anyway. We did show up
Tui
anyway.
was upset.
And
He
we
really
had
was.
to watch the whole thing.
Listen.
Because Tui's our boy. We've filled in on Colin before,
and again,
and
the
we've
other
known
facts.
him for a long time.
and-
Were we disappointed? Yes. I'm not going to pretend like I wasn't. This is what we're there for, right? We're there, and we're excited about it. We were prepared for it. And did we have to watch in misery and add salt to the wound? Yes. So, no, we weren't happy about it. Did we understand? Yes. Here's a deeper question. Would we have done the same thing had we given the opportunity? Telling you, people are trying to sabotage us here in the studio. But we're back. Hey, if you missed us the past 3 days, we did the Dan Patrick hat trick. All of our Dan Patrick fill-in shows are at Covino and Rich FSR. Covino and Rich FSR. It's where you can see us streaming live right now. It's also where you can see our bonus podcast right after the show at 4 p.m. on the West, 7 on the East. Overpromised episode 128 debuts today. And we're going to talk some fights, some big fights this weekend and more. Whatever we don't have time for today, we'll be talking on Overpromised. Again, that's our bonus podcast because Rich Blubber Lips Davis
Thanks, bud.
overpromises things we never get to. But we will get to Old School and 50 hits in about 15 minutes. We throw it back on a Thursday. We get you involved. 877-99 on Fox. Again, we're Covino and Rich. Congrats to Alyssa Liu and women's
Liu,
hockey
everybody.
and Jordan Stoltz.
Men's U.S. hockey snuck
Winter
by in overtime yesterday. That was
Olympics
wild.
2026 medal count up to 27 after their victory. So props to them. Names you'll never forget, probably moving forward because they had their moment. And we have one phone call about that. Danny G's on the phones at 877-99 on Fox. Iowa Sam. Dan Byers got your update in a few minutes. Who do we got?
Let's go to Chico, California.
Orale, Chico!
It's
Hey!
it's-
Hi!
It's
up, Chico?
Ryan.
Yo, Ryan, how
What's
are you,
up,
buddy?
fellas?
What's up? How you
Enjoy
doing?
the show very much. I listen to you every day.
Thanks,
hey,
man.
92 Olympics, gymnastics. Dominique Marciano, most beautiful girl you'll ever see.
I got to look her up.
Yeah, it's spelled Moceanu.
I'll look that up. Did Dan Byer, you got some insight on this young lady?
She was 1996. She was like 14 at the time.
Then what's this guy doing?
I got an
Well,
Olympic name for you.
Ryan, how old were
I
you?
was older.
Oh,
Oh.
maybe he was a teenager.
How old
That's
were
the
you,
only
Ryan?
excuse, Ryan. Ryan, take a seat. Chris Hansen's
12.
here.
Ryan says he was 12.
Did anyone say this name? How about this name? This name just popped into my brain right now. Nadia Comaneci. Remember that
Yeah. Yes.
You don't remember that
Legendary.
name? Yeah.
Legendary.
Nadia Comaneci.
Nadia Comaneci.
Well,
Wasn't
you-
she
you
Romanian gymnast or something?
Yes.
Let's see if you remember. You watch a documentary. Who's your favorite Italian guy? 1980.
Oh, the captain of the Miracle Team?
Yeah, come on.
Eruzioni. Eruzioni. Ooh, what's his first name, Dan?
Mike.
Mike Eruzioni. Did I get that right?
Yeah,
Yes.
Mike Eruzioni.
See, there you go.
I like that you guys didn't give Ryan a chance to clear his name. You just talked over him. He's like, I don't know.
Hey, well,
I don't know. I don't know.
To clarify, he was 12 years old.
Yeah, he
Point is, names like Alyssa Liu are going to be remembered moving forward. And, hey, rewind just a few months ago, you might not have known her. That's the weird part of the Olympics. And these are the names that stood out to us. And Dan Byer made a great point. A lot of them aren't even American names. It's just they were so dominant that we remember that.
Well, I said to Covino during the break, I said, it's fun to shout out these random Olympians. He's like, yeah, but doesn't it make you look like you don't know these people? I'm like, because we don't. I'm not pretending to say I knew them, because I think if you were to tell me going into the Olympics, you know all the Olympians, you're full of it. We just got done with the football season. NBA's at the halfway point. We're getting ready for baseball spring training. Don't you dare lie to me and tell me that you know the bobsled team members. Now, if they win gold and it's a cool story, they become names. That's the cool part. That's the cool part. What's up, D-Big?
And they change, their lives change overnight.
I love it. That's
Like
the cool
truly, like it is. Like Alyssa Liu's life is just completely now changed.
And that's amazing.
Yes.
And well-deserved.
Yeah,
And like everything
forever
she's
gold medal winner.
everything she's worked for.
It's amazing.
In
Boom.
that marquee sport as well, in that like there's some sports that stand out. You mentioned Usain Bolt, you know, when you're the track star in the 100 meters and 200 meters, it happens. And there is a time like Alyssa Liu, now we know her name. Maybe she skates at the next one and tries to go again to win back-to-back, so she'll be the biggest star heading into the next games. But leading into this one, not that she was an afterthought, but it took something for us to really get familiar with.
So funny. Bolt, what makes him special is there's something so, I guess you would say, overemphasized when we're kids about who's fast. I saw one of the dudes from Barstool.
Well, the name helps.
I saw,
for sure.
of course. I saw one of the dudes from Barstool. He was going over things that we thought would play a bigger role in adult life. And he went over the typical ones, like what do people say? Oh, quicksands and this and that. Stop, drop, and roll. Like things we thought like we'd have to actually
Fool's gold.
be a fool's gold. Nobody put on the list, and it's so true.
What?
When you're a kid, there was such an emphasis on who's the fastest kid.
Oh, no
One-
doubt.
one
That
trying
was
to-
the first sort of competition you had in the playground.
But I'm saying, like, when you're an adult, like, unless you're playing rec sports, and even then it's like, does speed matter? But when you were a kid, was there anything more important than being the fastest kid on the playground?
Nothing, no. And then it was maybe like an arm wrestling match as you got a little older.
Yeah.
But that was your first, like, where do I stand amongst everybody else?
Yeah.
Who's the fastest? Absolutely. So, again, we're Covino and Rich, live from Fox Sports Radio studio. Have you ever wiped with a piece of dry toilet paper, Rich, and wondered, is this as good as it gets? Well, it's not. Switch to life-changing wet, extra-large, flushable dude wipes. Is that shea butter I smell?
You guessed it.
Wetter just cleans better. Available at Amazon and major retailers nationwide. Dude wipes. Best clean pants down.
Now, it's time to go to our friend and yours, Dan Byer, for an update. DB, what's
up,
going
DB?
on, my
So I'm
friend?
going to get to the Olympic stuff in just a second, but there is a report from ESPN saying that NBA Commissioner Adam Silver has told the league's general managers that they will have anti-tanking rules in place for next season.
Wow.
There are a variety of options that they could go, but some of them laid out include lottery odds freezing at the trade deadline or possibly a later date. Another suggestion, teams can't pick in the top 4 the year after they make the conference finals. Indiana's in that situation this time around. The lottery could be extended to include all the play-in teams, so 7 through 10. Just some of the things that they're looking at, maybe even eliminating the odds for lottery teams altogether, which is what I support, or maybe even doing it on a 2-year span. So something to watch, but apparently anti-tanking rules coming to the NBA. And apparently Steph Curry's still out with that knee issue. Swelling in the knee, according to ESPN, is going to keep him out indefinitely as the Warriors don't know when he will return. Now on to the Winter Olympics. Gold medal game, women's hockey, USA against Canada. They're in overtime, and this happens.
Canada gets fresh skaters on the ice. The outlet pass for Keller, a defenseman. Nice move, cuts to the net, score! Megan Keller, the overtime hero, the United States, wins gold in Milan.
NBC Universal, USA Network, Kenny Albert with the call. U.S. wins their 3rd gold in Olympic history. Canada settles for the silver, losing that overtime game. Switzerland won bronze. We mentioned American Alyssa Liu won gold in the women's figure skating event, while in men's speed skating, Jordan Stolz took home silver in the 1,500 meters. Finally, guys, talks to expand the men's and women's NCAA tournaments have been put on hold. Those talks are expected to resume after this year's tournaments. Back to you.
Hey, DB. I saw, as we expand the NFL schedule internationally, which is a big objective for the NFL. You don't have to look it up, but can you remember any team traveling internationally twice in the same season? My 49ers, I know, looks like Mexico City and Australia. That's 2 big trips, no?
Yes. And I mean,
unprecedented, I think, possibly, right?
Yes.
There's 9 games this year, so there's more chance of that happening.
Yeah, 9
than
international.
before.
yes. But it's also, it's not like they're going to Europe and going to Australia.
Yeah, Mexico City's pretty close. That's
Yeah.
actually closer than possibly some other,
Sure.
domestic places. Okay, cool. Just I wasn't sure. I was like, you know what? I just saw that. I'm like, because our buddy's like, we should go to Mexico City for the Niners.
When I hear things like that, I think more reason to take some international travel, more reason to get your passport updated.
I know our boss, who's a Vikings fan, he took the international trip to see the Vikings, and he said it was amazing.
I think we got to do that.
Maybe in the cards.
All right.
Maybe. You think the boss would be cool if I went to Australia for the Niners?
I'll go with you.
I'll call in and say, what's up, guys?
Yeah, we'll do a broadcast.
Good day, mate.
Now,
All right.
check this out. I want to remind everybody we're streaming live Covino and Rich FSR, and we're going to be giving prizes away today. If you can guess what we brought in for show and tell. I have my item here. Rich, you're going to get yours and put it on the console here, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
If you can guess what it is, and you say something fun and creative, if Danny G calls your name later, you win a prize. We're going to reveal what it is that we brought in on Thursday. And we got Old School When 50 Hits next. Old School When 50 Hits, we're throwing it back, and let's just say it goes back to your childhood television.
Oh,
all right.
Can't wait. We got more CNR next, right here on Fox Sports Radio. Seemed to be more action-packed than the NBA All-Star Weekend. Can I tell you what I saw as a guy that only saw the highlights and flipping around on my phone? Because, again, I was living the dad life this weekend, and NBA All-Star Weekend.
Excuse. Everybody's living their life. I had it on too. So no need to over-explain. I could not focus on that for more than 3 minutes at a time.
No, but I'm saying it was like priority number 58 for me on my
yeah,
list.
but I had it on the whole time, Rich, and I tell you, I was trying. You know what it felt like? Trying to get to the end of Stranger Things. Like I got it on, but I'm not focused.
Oh,
I got it on, and sweeping is more exciting. Wiping down my counters. Cleaning up the house
Covino
was
had
more exciting to me.
Co was
than,
like, round robin, that's too much math.
well, you know what, Danny G, to be fair.
Robin, Covino's like, time to clean the baseboards.
Yeah, when you just
Crown Molding's got a little
I started clearing out my inbox on my email, because that was more interesting than the All-Star. Or, let me rephrase. It was able to capture my attention more. I just needed more distraction. And, of course, we have the attention spans of goldfish in today's world. I get that. And I will say, and I'm not just saying this, but the NBA, it was more competitive, but it was confusing, and it was, I don't know, I wasn't really buying into it, Danny G.
You got to throw things against the wall to see what works,
Yeah,
right?
and I commend that. So I don't want to come off too harsh, but,
can't
Rich,
blame
I
that.
tried to pay attention, and I had it on the entire weekend. I had it on. I just could not get into it, dude.
All right, we're gonna play a game called Rich Hardly Watched. Here's my observations.
Go ahead.
Tell me if I'm right. I saw Jackson Hayes do a dunk, and I was like, all right, is that like a warm-up or something? And Danny said, no.
Everybody thought that. And in fact, that was the sentiment. Like, did he realize that it had started?
Yeah.
It's like, we're on the air?
If it wasn't,
hey!
if it wasn't for Carter Bryant of the Spurs, that dunk competition would have really stunk.
But, Danny, am I wrong by saying he ran out of time?
Yeah, he didn't get his last dunk in, so he lost by default. Your winner was Keyshawn.
With the
With his-
goofiest
with
dance
his
moves the
goofy
whole
dancing.
time. Dude, it didn't
man.
help the situation. It made it feel really lame. And the overall sentiment, and again, you could chime in and defend it. Maybe it's a younger guys thing. Maybe we're not relating to the young dudes and we sound like old guys. Keep in mind, we're the youngest in the game here on Fox Sports Radio. It just felt like something we grew up with, which was so awesome, just isn't that anymore. Are we just holding on to the past? Because we used to look forward, just like the home run derby, we get excited about that. We used to get excited about the dunk contest. It's not the same, dude.
And there's showmanship involved. Like, you want the participants to, like, hype the crowd up and get everybody into it. But he was forcing those dance moves. And at one point, my wife Brenda said, he's too tall to be doing the Dougie. He looked so awkward.
The guy's twerking. He's doing like a little nanny poof poof sort of like, I just did it was like so corny, dude. It was like,
especially after he couldn't get the dunk he wanted in, and it took like 4 tries, and then he busted and hit the dance move hard, and we're like, bro, we knew what dunk was coming that whole time.
You know what it is,
like,
Danny G? We were so spurled, as old people say. We were so spurled. We were so spoiled as kids, and we would see Vince Carter, and
there was side by. It's funny you say Vince Carter. There were side by sides all day yesterday of Vince Carter's dunk and Jackson Hayes' dunk.
That's what I mean. So when you grow up with that level of excitement, right, and it was such a big deal, and all the big stars we grew up with were there, and then you see what's going on today, it's like, am I missing something?
I don't blame the big stars for not wanting to do it because look at us. We're just a bunch of critics, a bunch of dudes that can't slam dunk in any capacity.
Hey,
but hold on.
Bottom of the net. I can hit bottom of the net.
I know. Covino's jumping up.
But Rich,
in the net.
I'll push back a little bit on that, Rich. I feel like people were wanting it to be good.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where you remember how good some of those dunk contests were, and you want it to go there again.
Yeah,
Well,
I'm
hold
just
on,
saying,
hold on.
if athleticism didn't get worse, if anything, it got better. I just think the star players, maybe it's ego, they don't want to lose. No one wants to put themselves out there. The same way Covino doesn't want to do karaoke or something unless he really wants to do it, because putting yourself out there, you leave yourself vulnerable. And I feel like a lot of these stars are like, what am I going to do? The slam dunk contest? Then if I don't win, I'm the guy that lost the slam dunk contest?
Well,
For
let's-
what?
Oh, if you're watching us stream live right now, you can see what we brought in for show and tell. Because we
yeah.
throw it back on a Thursday. We're going to tell you what it is at the end of the show, but if you can guess right now, if you can guess accurately and, I don't know, say something funny, as long as you can stand out, Danny G might call your name and you win a prize.
All right.
But we're live from the Fox Sports Radio studio, Covino and Rich. And if you missed us, make sure to catch the podcast. We did the Dan Patrick hat trick.
Gotta love that.
At
Thank
Covino
you
and Rich FSR.
to DP
It's good to
and
be
the
back, though.
Danettes. You know what it's time for? It's time for our Fox Sports Radio studio Tire Rack play of the day. And we had an upset in college hoops.
This ball game is OVER over. Jays win. Jays win. Jays win. Holy moly. Toledo, Mackerel, and Cal. The Jays come on the road. And against all the odds, a 15.5-point underdog. And the Blue Jays win it.
He
Damn.
forgot holy cow. I didn't hear holy cow. Did he say that
No,
one?
he said moly cow. He threw them all.
Did he say Toledo? Holy Toledo.
I'm
Did
pretty
he say
sure-
Holy Mary, Mother of God?
Said them all. That guy was more fired up than Doug Gottlieb.
He didn't
that
say
guy.
Holy Frijoles, did he? I didn't hear that one. But he said most of them. That was excitement
Did he
right there.
give you a
Courtesy.
guacamole in there? too?
Holy guacamole. Courtesy of 1620 The Zone. And that was our Tire Rack play of the day for over 40 years. Tire Rack's been helping customers find the right tires for how, what, and where they drive. Shipped fast and free, backed by free road hazard protection with convenient installation options. Like mobile tire installation.
You okay?
Like I said, Tire Rack. TireRack.com, the way tire buying should be.
And I just want to throw one quick little fun fact, then we're going to go old school and 50 hits. They started doing the challenges for balls and strikes in baseball now.
Yeah.
And dugouts are erupting with laughter in spring training. Like, the whole deal is like, if a guy challenges, all the teammates apparently like, yeah! And Castellanos for the Padres just did it, and the video's gone a little viral. I saw your boy Aaron Boone saying that they don't want to save them for the end of the game. He thinks what's going to happen is everyone assumes, I got to save it for the bottom of the ninth when Judge is up with 2 on and 2 out. And he's like, games are going to go by, and no one's going to use them. So he's like, if it's a ball that's called a strike in the 3rd inning, challenge.
Use it.
So we'll see what happens. It's going to be very interesting. All right, let's do this. We do it every Thursday, 50 when old school hits.
There's a certain. Yeah. What we gonna do right here is go back. Back into time.
Throwing it back for a Thursday. Old school when 50 hits. At 50 after, CNR give you the time capsule topic, and we reminisce together.
Or as I said, 50 when old school hits.
Wait, stop, reverse that.
It's okay.
Same thing?
Rich is losing his mind, and we're reaping all the benefits.
Well, today is an anniversary of plenty of things. Today's the anniversary of the movie Office Space. Get those TPS reports in.
Classic.
Hope you don't work for a Lumberg. But it's also the anniversary of someone Covino and I loved as a kid. I know Covino more so than me. Hey, neighbor. Mr. Rogers.
Love me some Mr. Rogers.
Fred
dude.
Rogers.
His show debuted on this day.
Nationwide.
On this day in 1967.
1968.
Well, there's controversy. Is it 67 or
It's
68?
8. It's 68.
Yeah, the Wikipedia says 68. A
right,
couple
so
other
we're-
websites say
We're
67.
sticking with the 8. So 1968 on this day, Mr. Rogers. And I was very much a Mr. Rogers kid growing up. Loved the land of make-believe. I loved everything but Lady Elaine because she freaked me out.
Oh, dude,
She
same.
looked like Barbara Corcoran on crack.
The whole train thing was creepy.
Yeah, I was scared of that
I liked
hobo
it.
puppet.
Do you think Barbara Corcoran said, one day I'm going to grow up and look like Lady Lane?
I don't know. I don't like that hobo-looking puppet that he had, but I was a fan of the rest of the show. I mean, I watched that guy change his shoes
So many times.
thousands of times, clean his fish tank, just tell boring stories, but I loved every second of it because he led with kindness,
And-
man. The world's a kinder place because of Fred Rogers.
I mean, the guy, broke down boundaries with race. He was breakdancing. He was Fred Rogers was a great man.
Now I see him all over AI with Bob Ross.
I'll tell you this. If you got little kids, Daniel Tiger's Neighborhood, a spinoff of Mr. Rogers, the cartoon Daniel Tiger, obviously based off of Mr. Rogers. So we had a big debate in the studio before the show. And it's whether or not you would call Mr. Rogers a nerd. We'll explain, and it brings up a good debate and a good old school. We'll do it next.
Start thinking of other nerds, though.
Mr. Rogers? legend. We'll talk more next.
It's Covino and Rich on Fox Sports Radio. Are you ready?
Yes! We talk about pop culture, we talk about sports, we talk about life.
It's a friendship on the radio. When you talk about the best athlete in the world, you're probably thinking Jim Thorpe, right?
I'm thinking
joking.
Bo Jackson.
I'd have to throw myself at the age of 12 into the conversation.
You are the home run champion. When you find the commonality between sports and life, those analogies and conversations are the best. You were dating some girl, and you were like, hey, babe, let's watch The Sixth Sense. Her mom walked in. Can you believe he was dead the whole time?
I wanted to get up.
Well, slow down, Dana White.
I don't want to say It's never boring.
If the Chiefs win.
Sorry, Patrick Mahomes here. What do you mean by if the Chiefs win?
Our friendship is real. It's authentic. You can't fake the fun.
We're the type of guys you'd want to hang out with at a sports bar. Best way to pick someone up at a bar?
Yeah.
Go up to a cute girl and say, oh, look at that bozo over there. And I'll point to you. We could make fun of each other, poke each other a little bit.
I call him Blubber Lips, Rich Davis, because he never stops talking.
He thinks he's the Mexican Fonz.
Yeah.
At any point, he's wearing a chain. You have a chain on?
Always.
Of course he has a chain on.
That's like asking me if I'm wearing cologne right now. Of course I am. We take a lot of pride in being inclusive and interactive on our show. Just the more the merrier.
Josh, Covino thinks that every man should own a leather jacket.
I only wear vegan leather.
Can you believe this guy?
I can't believe this guy. We have a very special connection with our audience, our listeners. People feel that friendship.
And I appreciate y'all show. I love it.
It's all for you. Thank you.
Mike Tyson, Covino, loves to just challenge us with random Mike Tyson trivia.
Which accomplished celebrity purchased my sprawling Connecticut estate?
I'm going to go 50 Cent.
You are absolutely correct, 50 Cent. I love his song.
You can't schedule a big event during a big sports moment.
My family member scheduled their wedding the same night as a Julio Cesar Chavez fight. Everyone was glued to that fight instead of doing the electric slide.
This is weak.
Unbelievable. You're very tricky.
America, you got sports, you got fun, you got us.
Covino and Rich.
We're crushing it.
In women's hockey at the Olympic Games, the United States trailed 1-0 for about half of their regulation skate with Canada. It was then with 2 minutes left in the third period. The U.S. tied it with a goal by Hillary Knight. So the squads went to overtime.
Canada gets fresh skaters on the ice. The outlet pass for Keller, a defenseman. Nice move, cuts to the net, score! Megan Keller, the overtime hero, the United States, wins gold in Milan.
And they topped Canada 2-1. Kenny Albert on NBC Universal and USA Network with the call. In figure skating, American Alyssa Liu took home the gold, the 20-year-old, the winner today of the women's figure skating event, while in men's speed skating, Jordan Stolz took home silver in the 1,500 meters. NBA Commissioner Adam Silver told the league's GMs anti-tanking rules will be in place next year.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm pumped, man.
Remember, at the end of the hour, show
Thursday.
and tell. That's what we brought in today.
Yeah.
If you're watching what you hear, which, by the way, you should be. Check it out. At Covino and Rich FSR on YouTube. At Covino and Rich FSR on YouTube. If you can guess what it is, you might qualify for a prize by the end of the show, okay? But you got to be 100% accurate. We got any guesses there or no?
A lot of feedback. Let me look.
Covino and Rich FSR on YouTube. That's also where our bonus podcast debuts today, episode 128. An hour from now, we're going to talk unhinged athletes and who might be asked. Find out on Overpromise. But first, we rock out. Covino and Rich back at our normal time. We filled in for Dan Patrick Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. The Dan Patrick hat-trick is complete. If you missed any of it, again, catch the podcast. But right now, broadcasting live from the Fox Sports Radio studio. And remember, with the iHeartRadio app, you can stream us wherever, whenever, Shakira style, 24/7. And make us number one on your preset on the new and improved iHeartRadio app. And on this Throwback Thursday, like we said, show and tell. So stick around, leave a comment. If you hear your name, you win a prize.
What's your favorite Shakira lyric? You know what it's got to be.
She's a she-wolf, that one?
No.
Whenever her breasts are small and humble. I know where you're going.
So that you don't confuse them
with mountains.
That's almost as good as Nickelback when they just randomly say, "I'll have a quesadilla." Best lyrics of the 2000s.
You don't like She's a She-Wolf in the Closet?
You know what? I'm a bigger fan of Teen Wolf.
Do you guys ever hear a song in the chorus and you know the first part of the chorus, but then you just make up the second part? So hips don't lie. I'm like, her hips don't lie. Have a slice of pizza pie. I just made up I'm like, what is the part? I just play a slice of pizza pie.
That's not the lyric.
No, but it fits.
Because her hips don't lie. Have a slice of pizza pie.
It's not it.
Imagine Sam during the Bad Bunny halftime.
Oh man, yeah, forget about it.
He was just guessing. I love it.
That's Iowa Sam, our sound architect. We got Danny G on the ones and twos, on the phones actually. Danny G's on the phones at 877-99 on Fox. He's our EP executive producer, and Dan Byers hanging out. He's got your updates. But
yo, Wes in Idaho,
yeah,
may have perfectly nailed our show and tell.
Really,
with a funny twist.
Wow. So maybe he qualifies.
Try to top his answer at Covino and Rich on the YouTube page. But let's get back to our old school topic at hand.
All right, now on this day, 1968, a classic debuted on CBS television. Mr. Rogers, which later became Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. And you know, when I'm reading about it, did you know Michael Keaton worked on that set back in the day? I didn't know that. But in the description, this is where it gets funny. When you see this On This Day article and this tribute to Fred Rogers, who I think is a legend, honestly, the world's a better place because of guys like him. He's a guy who loved kids in the best way possible, right? It says Fred Rogers was often described as a gentle and deeply curious, nerdy man. Nerdy in quotes. So it was a debate in itself on whether or not he was
Disagree.
a nerd.
I never looked at Mr. Rogers and thought, nerd. I thought,
Because it was like you were looking in the mirror.
maybe. Danny G.
I just thought of him as a kind guy, you know?
When I say nerd, I think like Steve Urkel or like, someone from the movie Nerds, like pocket protector, glasses. To me, like nerd, Fred Rogers is just
Dude,
like.
he changed his sweaters on the set, Rich.
I think
he was a
maybe
cool nerd, but he
Louis
was
Skolnick.
nerdy.
You know what, though? And that's a whole other way to look at it, because there are cool nerds out
Yeah.
there. Like, they're into nerdy things. Like Mike, who runs this place?
Who?
Mike, who runs this place. He brought
Never
up
heard of them.
from Wonder Years, Winnie Cooper. Why am I drawing a blank on her name? Winnie Cooper.
Danica McKellar.
There you go. Danica McKellar. Like, she's hot and good looking and cool. We've had her on the show a few times. Winnie Cooper. But really, she's a book nerd, a math nerd. So you could be really nerdy into something and still be cool. And I think that's what Mr. Rogers was. He was a nerdy guy. I agree with Rich. When I hear nerd, I think of a guy you want to give a wedgie to, a Steve Urkel, a Louis Skolnick, any part of the Revenge of the Nerds. I think nerdy guys like that.
Can I give you one of my pet peeves? When a girl that's really hot, like, puts on glasses and she says something like, "Oh my God, I'm such a nerd." I'm like, no, you're hot. You're not a nerd. Like, nerds got picked on. Nerds get thrown in lockers.
I think there's a difference
But nerd kind of became cool in a way.
Yeah.
Ever since Revenge of the Nerds, they were like the smart, intellectual guys, and the jocks were like the jerks.
Well, if you saw the movie, what is it? Not the show, the movie. Remember 21 Jump Street? Nowadays, what was cool is nerdy, and what was nerdy is now cool. It's like the old reversal.
Well, I think we're confusing geeks and nerds, and I think there's
Not the same thing?
Kind of, but not really.
I looked it up. It says a geek is passionate about a specific subject like technology or pop culture, while a nerd is a studious, academic, intellectual focused on mastering knowledge or skills.
Here's where Danny G won me over, and this is the differential here. Because, again, it describes Fred Rogers as a nerdy man. Danny G goes, well, just because you're nerdy doesn't mean you're not cool. He goes, Oral Hershiser was kind of a nerd. And I'm like, yeah, Oral Hershiser.
Yeah, but he was a bulldog on the mound.
Exactly. So I'm like, you know what? You're right. Greg Maddox.
And then I throw Maddox. I go, Maddox was the professor. I mean, Greg Maddox.
Mike Mussina was kind of nerdy because, he, next level intellect. But you're still great at what you do. Like, so I get it. What would Carlton be?
I mean, he's rich.
Yeah, but he was kind of nerdy.
But he was nerdy.
Kind of super opulent guy nerds? Is that a different category too?
There's just a slight difference between geeks and nerds.
Don't forget dweebs and dorks.
Dweebs and dorks, too.
Makes me think of the rant by the secretary in Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
But Ferris Bueller's a righteous dude.
And then there's righteous dudes. Yeah.
And then there's righteous dudes.
Right. Well, hey, you know what? Your favorite old school nerds in honor of Fred Rogers. And if you do have little kids, I pointed out before, I think we connected dots. If you have little kids, Daniel Tiger's Neighborhood, which is a highly popular cartoon, is from the imagination of Fred Rogers, and the people behind it partnered up with another production company. Daniel Tiger, and, what was it? King Friday in Mr. Rogers?
Yeah, those sort of
Prince
puppets.
Wednesday is Daniel Tiger's best friend.
Look at
and,
that.
it all ties together. So
the legend lives, and I think we all watched at one point in our life. I watched him more than I watched Sesame Street. I was more of a Fred Rogers guy.
What about in
how about Pee Wee Herman? What would you consider his character?
P-Dubs is a nerd.
Yeah.
Dweeby.
Yeah.
I know you are, but what am I?
I mean, he's a cool nerd. You know what?
By the way, could be TV characters or real life people. Because right away I was thinking about Bill Gates.
I mean, Bill Gates he's a nerd.
He's many things these days.
Yeah. I got one for you, Danny G.
Well, Jeff Bezos was a nerd, but now he's a supervillain.
Now he looks
was
like
he a geek?
Now he's Lex Luthor.
Now I'm confused. Now I'm confused.
You know what? If you want to give your own definition, I think that's as fun as the conversation. The
Right?
fact that we all have a different definition. Like,
Because I do get what Danny G's saying. Let's make this clear again. He was described as a nerdy man in this article. I never considered Fred Rogers a nerdy guy. He's just he's just like a goofy, nice guy.
all right, let me give you two. If you watch Sandlot, do you say, "Oh, Squints, nerd"?
Well, you're going back to the 80s. Like, just because they wore glasses, you considered them nerds.
I mean, but I'm saying, like, I wore glasses as a kid. When I was in my preteen, teenage years.
In that case, we're all nerds now, because most of us wear glasses.
If I was a kid playing baseball and I had braces and glasses, I was probably the nerdy kid on the team, no?
Who was the nerd? If Fonzie was the coolest on the Happy Days, right?
Cunningham's a little nerdy,
Was
no?
Cunningham the nerd, or was like Potsy the nerd? Hey, let me tell you something, Cunningham. If Fonzie was the definition, the epitome of cool, was Cunningham a nerd?
All right. Sheldon from Big Bang Theory. That's a nerd. No?
Aren't they all nerds technically? Like
But,
they're all
but
kinda-
Kelly Cuoco's character, isn't she like into science, but she just happens to be hot? So what does that make her?
She was the neighbor across the way.
Yeah, but isn't
That's
she
how met?
also into science and stuff, or no?
I never watched the show really. I just barely knew the characters. but-
Okay, I got one for you. I got the coolest nerd ever. Then, if studious and stuff like that makes them nerdy, right? But you could still be cool. Wouldn't Indiana Jones be a nerd? He was a college professor, right? The guy was
He's an Oral Hershiser.
right. He was a
Yeah.
college professor. He wore glasses. He taught.
But then he
taught
turned
college
into
courses.
he turned into an adventurous dude with the hat and the whip.
But then
And a
he was
gun.
But then he was Indiana Jones.
He's
so
if you want to know the truth,
he
he's
might
a
be
murderer.
He might be
Professor.
He was a murderer. He was a cold-blooded killer when
Indiana
you watch
Jones, so you could just kill people? I
Just
don't know.
busted out his gun.
The guy had the sword, and then he just went out, and then
Rich,
they
it
just
was,
let him get away
it
with
was
it.
self-defense, Rich.
Yeah,
I was Sam, and this is said respectfully. You think you're a nerd?
a little bit. Yeah, for sure.
Like I would say that
I'm good
I
with
was
that.
Sam.
Hold on, nerd or a geek, right?
I don't know.
What's
They're-
more
whatever.
offensive?
None of them are really offensive anymore.
Like I look at Sam and I'm like, Sam's a really cool guy, but you know what? Sam's also a guy that, you know,
I don't think
he's peculiar.
Sam wears
glasses,
but
like,
I think he has a nerdy sense of humor. But then again, I vibe with his humor so much. So do I have a nerdy sense of humor? I don't know.
yeah,
I'm so confused by this. You know why? Because if this was a 1980s conversation and you just look like a nerd to me, you were a nerd. Nowadays, it's the definitions have changed a little
Dude,
bit. It's a blurred sort of definition.
You
now.
mentioned Fonzie before.
Yeah.
I was wrong. Kelly Cuoco's character was a waitress. She was not like a science nerd. But I think
she met the gang because she lived across the hall.
Yeah,
right?
I think Mayim Bialik though, wasn't she a nerd? Like Blossom on that
yeah,
show.
that
She
was
a nerd.
Sheldon's girlfriend, right?
You don't know the show.
sometimes-
I don't think it was.
I
Was it?
swear
Maybe
it
it
was.
was. Okay.
Sometimes you just look like a nerd, but you're not at all. I think that's the worst. If you look like a nerd, but you're really not like smart.
I have one. Doogie Howser was definitely a nerd.
He's a kid doctor for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was a kid doctor.
Now Vinny Del Pino was not his
a nerd.
friend.
Yeah. So who comes to mind? 877-99 on Fox. And if you could make sense of this, by all means. But according to the tribute, according to the description, Fred Rogers was a kind but nerdy man.
This is arguably one of our stupid or nerdy conversations of all time. Mauser hits us up. Mercer hits us up. A lot of people throwing some names out there.
Uh-huh.
You could be a nerd and cool and lovable. Like when I say Bill Nye the Science Guy,
Huge nerd.
huge nerd. But didn't we all love Bill Nye the Science Guy?
Bill.
No, who's a big nerd? And I love him. Neil deGrasse Tyson. He might be the coolest nerd.
Oh, I'm a little offended you said that.
Oh, this is a good one from Stilo and Stockton. I don't want to steal all the answers because we got the phones lit. But Stilo and Stockton said, George McFly.
Yeah.
Nerd.
Hello.
McFly. Marty.
He was
Cool
kind
as
of
hell.
but he was also kind of a loser. Are nerds losers then? See?
wow.
See, George McFly.
No, but he turned out to be cool. He was an author, remember?
Hey, I'm talking to you, McFly, you Irish bug.
Oh no, that was directed at the other McFly.
Royalty,
Michael J. Fox.
Royalty Records hits us up and goes, what about Mike in Stranger Things? Better yet, a lot of the kids in Stranger Things. They're all into like Dungeons and Dragons.
Yes, I would say they're nerds. What about the band Weezer? Aren't they just compiled of a bunch of nerds for the most part? So, yeah, I guess it doesn't make you not cool.
That's a good one. I was thinking of musicians this morning when this topic came up. Like Phil Collins, all you had to do was put a pair of glasses on him, and he looked like a nerd.
Then see, this is why it's confusing. I'm sorry to like overanalyze this.
Just
but
the
then there's
looks
certain
compared
people that
to-
look
yeah.
like nerds. Like Buddy Holly looked like a nerd. Was he a nerd? The guy had hits at 21 years old. He had hits for days. But he looked like a freaking nerd, didn't he? Buddy
Yeah.
Holly.
You're right when you said the lines are blurred throughout the past couple decades.
They are. They're definitely blurred now. I'm thinking, when I think of nerds, I think Revenge of the Nerds, like Arnold Poindexter. I think of Lamar Latrell. I think of the nerds from the movie, Skolnick. I think of people that looked like that. But now I guess there's something cool about them because we've seen nerds take over. We've seen the Revenge of the Nerds. And there apparently is a difference between nerds and geeks. But we do pay homage to Fred Rogers because, honestly, I don't think there was anyone cooler than that dude growing up.
So funny. I said to Covino earlier today when we were doing our other podcast, I said, isn't it funny how the pendulum swung so much on what is nerdy?
Nerd became cool, and that's why this is a tough conversation. We now live in the upside down.
Well, you know what the turning point was, in my opinion? Glee and High School Musical and some of those shows where theater stuff and those type of
computers.
kids.
Computers were considered to be nerdy things. Like you into computers, you were some sort of nerd.
And then it was
and
like,
then it became,
the world
video
revolves,
games and gaming and nerdy, and all sorts of wizard stuff became mainstream and cool. So what was considered nerdy became acceptable, and like people dressing around like Comic-Con characters that became mainstream and cool.
That's a great example. Comic-Con was designed for nerds, and now regular people are like, let's go to Comic-Con.
Right. So what was nerdy became cool, and it's kind of tough to differentiate nowadays.
I got a question based on
Nerd's
that.
the new cool.
Based on that, if it aired 20 years earlier, would Game of Thrones been the nerdiest stuff?
Yeah, because look, Lord of the Rings, right? Like The Hobbit, the story of The Hobbit existed forever. When I was a little kid, they were talking about the story of The Hobbit, and that was on Led Zeppelin's songs were written about Lord of the Rings.
Maybe that made
all
it cool,
that stuff.
helped make it cool.
Right? And then what happened? All of a sudden, and that was like for nerds.
Yeah.
And now it's like a cool thing.
You know what? Who gives a great one? DC92 on our YouTube chat. He goes, just picture every movie growing up that Rick Moranis was in, because he was such a great nerd.
Perfect.
Whether he was a dad, a cop, or whatever Rick Moranis was.
The pseudo Ghostbuster,
Yeah,
like
that's
Ghostbusters.
perfect.
Like
That's-
Rick Moranis.
Who said that? Give him props.
I said DC92.
DC92 should qualify for a prize just for saying that. 'cause
Rick
that's such
Moranis.
a great example.
He's a scientist in
Yeah.
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Yeah, like whatever Rick Moranis was just
Inventor.
a fantastic nerd.
What was his handle?
DC92.
Spotty in the chat. Give him the info to claim a prize.
Anthony Michael Hall always played a geek in John Hughes movies. So, again, that's the difference, right? He was the geek.
Didn't he play the bad guy in Edward Scissorhands? The bully
yes.
boyfriend.
And he
He
became
did a
the-
total flip.
He did. You're
All
right.
Well, hold on. Michael Relm, or just Michael M. Michael M. said, when you think about it, you guys shouted out the movie the other day. He goes, wouldn't all the Goonies be considered nerds? Because the cool kids were like,
yeah, they didn't
Mike,
live on
like-
the Goondocks.
But then there were some cool kids that joined the nerds.
yeah. Goonies is a great call, yeah.
If you guys remember the video for 1984's Hot for Teacher, Van Halen classic, it starts off with a nerd named Waldo. You remember? And he goes to the school, and all the little kids, the cool kids, were Van Halen as kids. They'd be like, sit down, Waldo. Waldo from the Hot for Teacher video was a big nerd if you were an MTV kid growing up. All right, so we got loaded lines. 877-99 on Fox.
Whammy.
It's such a random conversation, but this is all our homage to Fred Rogers on this day.
Yeah.
We all grew up with him. Who do we got?
Yeah. We got Danny G. Do you want to zip through with us?
Yeah, let's start with Manny in El Paso.
Let me get the phones up here. Hey,
Guys,
Manny.
how we doing, man? Love the show. Great topic.
Oh,
Thank you.
thanks,
First
man.
of all,
What's up?
I consider myself a geek. I'm a big comic book fan. I love cartoons from the 80s. But I got three names for you. One musician, Weird Al Yankovic. For cartoons, Velma. I mean, is Velma a nerd?
Oh.
I mean, if she is, she's a hot nerd.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
That's a good one.
The last one, Peter Parker. Everyone loves Spider-Man.
I think
Yeah,
you
he was a nerd.
nailed it there. Weird Al? I was saying,
I think he's a Rock and Roll Hall of Famer. That's a debate for another day. But when you think of longevity alone and the impact that dude had from the MTV days till now, he's still doing it. Weird Al Yankovic, underrated superstar.
I just get a sense. I could be wrong. I was Sam. I bet you love Weird Al.
I definitely approve.
Yeah.
I'm not like a Weird Al super fan, but he's a
Okay.
legend.
I
He's a
love Weird
legend.
Al, but I feel like you're cut from the cloth where you'd be like, yeah, Weird Al, man.
I mean, no one mastered parodies like him.
Yeah, and that's why I believe Covino when he says he should be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I'm not joking. Like, there's
He
people,
should be, absolutely.
I mean, if there's gonna be one parody guy, why not Weird Al? All right, who else we got, Danny?
Let's go to Vegas, your homie Trip.
Yo, Trip, what up, bud?
Hey, good afternoon, gentlemen.
What up?
I got two nerds that I'm going to say Bruce Banner and Spock are two great nerds, and then a
Spock.
geek would be Napoleon Dynamite.
Yeah,
That's a great answer. Because it's like,
Yeah.
it's the way he's all like nasally. You know, he's got the weird curly hair.
The way he runs.
He got picked on a little bit at times in the
Hey,
movie.
you know what they say? I'm not trying to. Rich gets mad at me because I try to tie it back to sports all the time.
You always
He's
do.
like, we're talking Fred Rogers.
Yeah, did you,
I'm
you
like,
feel
no,
forced
no.
because we're on Fox Sports Radio to be
Because
like,
it's also called a tie-in. And if there's a relevant tie-in, why wouldn't you bring it
Just
up?
be yourself, my man.
Doesn't Ryan Fitzpatrick get a lot of credit for being like an ultra smart guy?
He went to Harvard.
Yeah, he's a Harvard
Yep.
graduate. So I'm just saying, like, how could you leave out? And it is Fox Sports Radio. So how could you leave him out if we're talking nerds?
Richard
the guy
Sherman-
had to be a
Richard-
nerd. He was just great at football.
Richard Sherman, Stanford wizard, right? I mean, like there's athletes that are nerds.
That's
you
what
know?
I'm saying.
Big Bert, by the way, he's up next on the calls. He said he could give you the definition of a nerd.
Oh, perfect. All right. Because, again, it's changed since we were kids. Who do we got? Big Bird?
Big
Let's
Bird.
do it.
Hey, Big B.
Hey, buddy.
guys, you guys are always great. So here's the definition. You guys said it through all the movies you talked about, the Goonies. We're talking nerds are just outcasts. They're the people that are not mainstream. These are not normal people. Look at Revenge of the Nerds. They had Lamar. He wasn't a brainiac, but he was outside the norm. That's what a nerd was back then. Anybody that didn't fit the status quo. So then that morphed into geekism, and I think that's where we are now, guys.
I like it. You know what? I did a search, guys, but Bill Walton's on it. Thank you very much, Bill Walton. I agree. Rest in peace. Bill Bradley, a guy we used to work with. They got Jeremy Lin on here as a nerd.
The politician, Bill Bradley?
Yeah, Bill Bradley, the
I
politician.
used to have a signed basketball from him, and I gave it to my cousin. Kind of regret it now. Former Nick, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
of course. I got a few.
Would you consider Leaping Lenny Poffo the graduate, the genius?
I mean, the genius Lenny Poffo, the wrestler.
I mean, he wore a cap and gown in the ring.
And he read poetry. Yes.
Kind of a nerd.
Absolutely.
I think I was thinking of the Beastie Boys video. You got to fight for your right to party. Remember
Yes.
the nerds
Yes,
at the party?
of course.
That was classic 80s nerds.
Steve Nash also had a reputation of being a super smart guy, could be considered nerdy, but was a baller, no doubt. But back to your phone calls, 877-99 on Fox, 877-99 on Fox. Who comes to mind?
Yeah, we got Texas in the house. Lewis.
Hey, Texas.
Hey, guys.
Yo.
How you doing?
We're good, man. What's up?
I have the coolest nerd in the history of television.
Can I guess? I just want to guess. Can I guess?
Yes.
Orville Redenbacher.
No.
I made him laugh, though. Who do you got?
It's Clark Kent.
Oh, yeah.
Clark Kent.
Of course, Clark Kent was supposed to be, I guess, a nerd, right?
Yeah,
And
good
then
one,
became
Lewis.
Superman. But isn't it funny that we did live in a time where we watched Orville Redenbacher in commercials? Like, that's how you know you're old. Like, hey, I'm so old that I remember when the guy on the box was in the commercial.
Yeah, he was doing the commercial, guys.
He was such a nerd, though. He perfected those popcorn seats to be what we have today. Kernels, I should say. Popcorn kernels to be what they are now. So that dude was a major, major nerd. He was obsessed with popcorn kernels.
Now, let me throw a few more at you.
Yeah.
Without trying to steal all the answers. Ghostbusters, Egon. Is he
Yes.
Is he the guy? Nerd.
Yep. Nerd, big time.
Ducky.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
From Pretty in Pink. John Cryer.
And I might have the best movie nerd of the 2000s. You ready for this one? He got an ID that said McLovin. McLovin.
Mintz Place. What's his first name?
Christopher Mintz-Plasse.
Christopher Mintz Place.
McLovin
Definitely was the nerd of the crew.
Was a great nerd.
Yeah. Super bad. Yeah, he was. But he thought he was cool.
What about in American Pie? Would you call Jim a nerd, Jason Biggs, or was he just like an awkward teenager?
I think Finch was more the nerd.
Finch,
wasn't he?
yeah.
Yes. Yep.
Finch didn't want to go to the bathroom at school. He had to run home.
Yeah.
He had all kinds of weird quirks.
Yeah,
but also he's like suave.
Or, yeah, I'm just thinking, remember the movie Road Trip? The character played by DJ Qualls?
Oh, my God, just looking at
Little
that.
skinny,
dude.
nerdy guy?
Yeah. All right, so thank you guys for your feedback. I can't believe so many people are calling up for this.
Yeah.
877-99 on Fox if you want to still get through. 877-99 on Fox.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Scott's got a good one
And
on the feedback.
And we got lots of feedback, too.
Dude,
At
loaded
Covino Rich
lines
FSR.
again for the third time.
Let's go rapid fire when we get back. But, Danny, I'm going to throw one at you. And the guy's whole vibe was, I'm a nerd. I was saying, I'll quiz you. Back in the day when we were younger, you could win his money.
Oh, I got
Oh,
that.
you want me to answer right now?
Yeah.
Ben Stein.
Win Ben Stein.
I used to watch that show all the time.
Ben Stein was, the whole gimmick was like, I'm a nerd.
He was
I'm Ben
Bueller,
Stein.
Bueller, and Ferris Bueller. So he was a teacher, you know.
Bueller.
And he was actually, I think, one of Richard Nixon's like assistants back in the day.
That's
he worked
true.
in politics, yeah.
Damn. All right, well, listen, your feedback, rapid fire, in honor of the late, great Fred Rogers. Mr. Rogers debuted on this day. Your favorite nerds of all time. Plus, we'll get to a little Major League Baseball, maybe a little NBA.
Well, I got a bone to pick with the WBC hitting ranking.
Oh, you got a bone to pick?
I do.
Oh, can't wait to hear this one. All right, Covino, Rich, we got more next right here on Fox Sports Radio.
Hey, ready to tackle your financial goals with Webull? You don't have to sit on the sidelines.
No.
Whether you're like a nerd, whether you're a rookie or a pro, Webull puts you in the game with tools that help you make the moves you want. Trade stocks, options, and ETFs, or play the long game with cash management and retirement accounts, all on one platform, Webull.
Webull pairs advanced analytics with real-time data so you could read the defense, adjust your strategies. You could stay in control. And now they got Vega, the AI assistant. You could ask things like, what's the outlook for this stock? You could say, hey, analyze this watch list and get real-time stock updates and volatility insights, fundamentals that turn complex signals into plain English.
Want a wider view of the field? Use Portfolio X-Ray to spot trends, manage risk, and optimize the performance of your portfolio. Stop punting your financial future. Join Webull's community to discuss markets, trending topics, and ideas with fellow investors.
Download the app right now, guys. Webull, W-E-B-U-L-L. You can get it on or desktop. Again, visit Webull.com.
Webull Financial LLC, member SIPC FINRA. Investing involves risk. For more information, visit Webull.com/disclosures.
It's Covino and Rich on Fox Sports Radio. Are you ready?
Yes! We talk about pop culture, we talk about sports, we talk about life.
It's a friendship on the radio. When you talk about the best athlete in the world, you're probably thinking Jim Thorpe, right?
I'm thinking Bo Jackson.
I'd have to throw myself at the age of 12 into the conversation.
You are the home run champion. When you find the commonality between sports and life, those analogies and conversations are the best.
You were dating some girl, and you were like,
Hey, babe, let's watch The Sixth Sense.
her mom walked in. Can you believe he was dead the whole time?
I wanted to get up.
Well, slow down, Dana White.
I don't want to say It's never boring.
If the Chiefs win,
Sorry, Patrick Mahomes here. What do you mean by if the Chiefs win?
Our friendship is real. It's authentic. You can't fake the fun.
We're the type of guys you'd want to hang out with at a sports bar. Best way to pick someone up at a bar?
Yeah.
Go up to a cute girl and say, oh, look at that bozo over there, and I'll point to you. We could make fun of each other, poke each other a little bit.
I call him Blubber Lips, Rich Davis, because he never stops talking.
He thinks he's the Mexican Fonz.
Yeah.
At any point, he's wearing a chain. You have a chain on?
Always.
Of course he has a chain on.
That's like asking me if I'm wearing cologne right now. Of course I am. We take a lot of pride in being inclusive and interactive on our show. Just the more the merrier.
Josh, Covino thinks that every man should own a leather jacket.
I only wear vegan leather.
Can you believe this guy?
I can't believe this guy. We have a very special connection with our audience, our listeners. People feel that friendship.
And I appreciate y'all show. I love it.
It's all for you. Thank you.
Mike Tyson, Covino, loves to just challenge us with random Mike Tyson trivia.
Which accomplished celebrity purchased my sprawling Connecticut estate?
I'm going to go 50 Cent.
You are absolutely correct, 50 Cent. I love his song.
You can't schedule a big event during a big sports moment.
My family member scheduled their wedding the same night as a Julio Cesar Chavez fight. Everyone was glued to that fight instead of doing the electric slide.
This is weak.
Unbelievable. You're very tricky.
America, you got sports, you got fun, you got us.
Covino and Rich.
We're crushing it.
Ooh, Sam. Weezer, Buddy Holly, double doozy of nerds. That's a double tier of nerds right here. Live from the Fox Sports Radio studio, Covino and Rich. We are Fox Dorks. And for over 40 years, Tire Rack's been helping customers find the right tires for how, what, and where they drive. Shipped fast and free, backed by free road hazard protection with convenient installation options like mobile tire installation. TireRack.com, the way tire buying should be. It's the anniversary of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, 1968 on this day. And even though we think he's the coolest, nicest dude, kindest guy, and wonderful part of our childhood growing up, he's described as a nerdy man. And I guess I want to come to that defense, but nerd is considered cool nowadays.
Yeah.
And I guess looking back, he was a nerdy guy. He was just a really kind guy. So nerd's not necessarily a bad thing. He just was kind of nerdy. So we're going over some of the nerdiest guys that come to mind in history. And, you know, I think of the movie Grease. When I was thinking of the Fonz before, the T-Birds were cool. Eugene was the nerd,
now,
right?
You love to tie sports in, because it's Fox Sports Radio.
I thought that Oral Hershiser was. I'll never forget, as a kid, Oral Hershiser was a bulldog, right? He was the guy on the mound. He led the Dodgers.
Mm-hmm.
He was great, aggressive pitcher. But I remember seeing him on the Tonight Show with Johnny Carson singing. You guys remember that clip of Oral Hershiser singing on the Tonight Show? And I was like, what a nerd. He was like a big nerd.
As a big Mets fan, I remember just getting dominated time and time again by the Braves and Greg Maddux. And I'm like, Greg Maddux is the greatest pitcher in the game, but he just appeared to me like almost like a little dweeb, like a nerd.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this guy, but he's
Professor.
so smart. The professor, Greg Maddox. But hey, we salute you, Fred Rogers.
We're going to do what we call Crossfire.
Here we go.
We're going to go a little bang, bang, bang. Got to make it quick and snappy on the phones at 877-99 on Fox. Thanks for holding. Thanks for waiting.
Why would you say snappy when you could have said speedy delivery?
Speedy delivery like Mr. McFeely.
Yeah. Let's go to Texas and say hi to Jay. Jay, who's the top nerd? What do you think?
I actually had he might be unconventional, but I was going to say Kobe Bryant. He spoke 2 languages. I think he got an award for writing a book. He was a student of the game.
You know,
he was a nerd.
I think that is honestly a phenomenal thinking outside the box answer. Kobe was,
Italian, right?
Spoke multiple languages. Was a real studious type of guy. The late great Kobe Bryant. That's actually a terrific answer.
Did he win an Oscar for a sports related, basketball related documentary?
Yep. All right, let's say hi to Greg in Connecticut. What's up, Greg?
Yeah, so I'm going 3 real quick, which is, are we talking geeks or are we talking nerds? You got Julius in the movie Twins, played by Arnold Schwarzenegger, who was a nerd. And then you've got Bill Belichick talking punt formation, nerd. And then the last one is bodybuilders and their macros, nerd.
Yeah, I'll give you this.
You know what? Macro talk. When our buddy Spot starts talking about his macros and the diet, and I'm like, what a nerd, man. You could turn something cool into something so nerdy. You're losing my attention.
Arnold in Twins, though, is a phenomenal answer because he's a specimen. But the whole funny part of the movie is that, it's him and DeVito, but Arnold is like the genius who was raised by scientists.
He got all the good DNA of the two, right?
That's a great answer.
Yo, the band Devo, were they nerds or were they just like 80s cool?
Wait, who else did that guy say? He spurred another thought. He said, Arnold? I'll never know. Man.
We're trying to do Crossfire here.
All right, yeah,
You've got us thinking backwards.
Let's go to Vegas. Rich, what's up, Vegas?
What up, fellas? What about Murdoch from the A-Team? He was like the ultimate geeky, nerdy dude that everybody wanted to take their parents' radio apart and learn how to put it back together because of him.
I'm not going to debate it. I completely
good ones.
remember, but it becomes a debate in itself. Are geek and nerd synonyms? Danny G was saying no, there's a difference. So I don't know.
And as I said earlier in the hour, nothing bothers me more than when a hot girl calls herself a nerd just because she likes to read or wears glasses. You're not a nerd. You're still a hot girl.
You're just hot with glasses.
Yeah, stop it. Cam in Illinois. What's up, Cam?
Hey, what's going on? I got to go with the all-timer Screech from Saved by the Bell. Dude, when he did the spraying dance with Lisa Turtle at the Mac.
Dude, Zach Morris is trash. Remember Zach?
But was Screech smart? He was more of a geek. Don't you think?
He was a geeky kid. Yeah, he wore like goofy pants and he's a geeky kind of guy.
I mean, it's not like he got into Stansberry.
Rest in peace, Dustin Diamond. But yeah, I mean, it's a good one.
I mean, we said it before, and I'm sure everyone's thinking it. If you're just joining us, don't worry. We covered Urkel because I think Urkel's
right off
number
the bat.
one. But you know who's not a nerd?
Got any cheese?
Well, make it clear. You know who's not a nerd? Stefan Urkel.
Oh, he was smooth. Yeah,
that guy was smooth, brother. Branch and Chico. What's up, Branch?
Let's go with the guy that's actual nickname was Nerd Power, Eric Sogard.
Oh, former A.
Yeah, Nerd Power. That's funny, man. Who else do we got? Quick.
I'll tell you who else we got. Chris Sabo. Because when I was a kid playing baseball and I had to wear like those goggles, I felt like such a nerd. And I'm like, well, then I guess I must look like Chris Sabo.
He just kind of looked like a nerd, but I don't think he really was a nerd.
I mean, you know who was
he just had those croakies.
You know who was a great NBA player, but I thought always looked like the biggest nerd of all? Kurt Rambis.
I knew you were going to say that.
Like Rambis was a stud of a player, but I mean, tell me that guy didn't look like a nerd.
He looked like stepdad Gary.
Hey, what's up, kids?
Let's wrap things up on the phones with Louie in Washington State.
Yo, Louie, what's up, man?
Man, what's up, fellas? You took the words out of my mouth with the Kurt Rambis, but I got one other one, and it's Rick Vaughn.
Dude, that's fantastic. I was just about to say, if no one said it, it just proves that glasses back in the day were considered nerdy because when Wild Thing Rick Vaughn.
I never thought of him as a nerd.
No, but when he got the glasses, what was the trepidation? What was the hesitation? It was because back then, glasses meant you were a nerd. Remember, he was like, I got to wear these? Like, he was so, he had the shaved head.
Yeah.
He came out of the, prison.
That's why Jan on the Brady Bunch was so self-conscious when she got the glasses, remember?
Oh, I'm like, yeah. I mean, Can I tell you? I
look like a nerd
not to call my dad out, because Greg, my dad's the most supportive guy. You know my dad. You know my dad listens to our.
Now I'm on the edge of my seat.
My dad listens to our Patreon every day, which you should too.
Oh.
Covino and Rich Uncensored every morning. Then we come here for a couple more hours, have the best time ever on Fox Sports Radio.
Look it up, patreon.com.
He listens to every podcast I do. But I got to bust my dad's chops for a second. Glasses were so nerdy in the 80s that when I wore glasses for family photos, my dad would make me take them off because it ruined the photo.
Oh, you ruined the photo.
Oh, Richie, take them off. You can't.
That's got to be racist.
Danny,
or nerdist.
Danny, when you look at any picture of me from my childhood, like when I tell people, like, no, I was a nerd. I wore glasses and had braces. My dad would be like, oh, braces, don't smile. Glasses, take them off.
Oh, you ruined the photo, Richie. Oh,
what are you, some type of nerd?
This is my ugly son over here.
Yeah,
I'm just kidding.
You're not to be seen or heard.
Yeah, my dad. Hey, son, you got to take the glasses off. All right, thank you, Dad. All right, let's go to Dan By for an update. Thanks for all the feedback. You guys are great.
Chime in at Covino and Rich if we didn't get to you.
What's up, man?
Fellas, crazy day at the Winter Olympics. It started with the U.S. women's hockey team scoring late in the third period and then going to overtime with Canada.
Canada gets fresh skaters on the ice. The outlet pass for Keller, a defenseman. Nice move, cuts to the net, score!
Yeah!
Megan Keller, the overtime hero, United States, wins gold in Milan!
The third time the U.S. has won gold in women's hockey. Megan Keller with the goal, Kenny Albert with the call. On NBC Universal, Switzerland ended up taking the bronze in women's hockey. Now in women's figure skating, American Alyssa Liu brought home the gold. The 20-year-old became the first American to win gold in the event since Sarah Hughes did it in Salt Lake City in 2002. American speed skater Jordan Stolz has so far stolen the show, winning 2 golds in the 500 meters and 1,000 meters. Today, won silver in the 1,500 meters. NBA Commissioner Adam Silver, according to ESPN, has told the league's general managers anti-tanking rules will be in place for next season. Suns owner Matt Ishbia took to social media to complain about tanking today, calling it, quote, loser behavior done by losers. End quote. ESPN saying Warriors guard Steph Curry dealing with swelling in his knee. There's no timetable for him to return to the lineup after missing their previous 5 games. This just in from the Thunder, as Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is going to miss another week because of an ab strain. A couple of other notes to pass along. Talk of the NCAA tournament, both men's and women's, expanding from the current 68-team format. Those talks have been put on hold but will resume after this year's tournament. Eagles left tackle Lane Johnson to return for his 14th season in 2026. An Indiana House Committee unanimously passed the stadium bill to try and lure the Bears to build their new stadium in Northwest Indiana. And the Brewers signed manager Pat Murphy to a new 3-year deal with a club option in 2029. Guys, back to you.
Yo, thanks you,
DB.
DB, great update. Hopefully everyone's enjoying the Olympics as we get ready for baseball, the second half of the NBA in full effect. I got to give Tripp in Vegas, one of our most loyal good pals, some props. He said last second entry for Best Nerds.
Mm-hmm.
Would you call him a nerd or not?
How about the guy that's on our screen right now playing the saxophone?
By the way, that is me.
Oh, that's Rich. I'm sorry.
Oh, my God, Spot. How did you find that photo?
At Covino and Rich FSR. At Covino and Rich FSR. It's not Revenge of the Nerds. That's actually Rich playing the saxophone.
Aren't you proud that kid in that picture ever touched a woman?
I can't believe that kid ever had any girlfriend. So, yeah.
My goodness. Tripp said, is he a nerd or not? Bud Bundy.
No, I don't think so. I thought Bud was, I mean, he's street rapper Grandmaster B.
But he struck out with all the girls.
I guess.
But
I always thought Bud was cool.
I thought Bud was cool, too.
He loved his hip-hop. He loved his women. He just struck out all the time.
All right. Well, hey, your thoughts at Covino and Rich. We'll get all your feedback. And Covino said we'll talk about a World Baseball Classic next. Lindor The fans love him. But it seems like maybe he doesn't get along with everyone because maybe there's a reason Nimmo and Pete Alonso and Jeff McNeil and all of these guys were moved. Maybe there's dissension, right?
There was whispers, rumors, murmurs about him and Soto not vibing. And you assume you assume that because they're both Latino guys, Hispanic guys, that maybe that's why they vibe. Lindor's Puerto Rican. Soto's Dominican. That doesn't mean they're BFFs.
I'm not assuming anything. In fact,
no, but I think there is an assumption they must do the salsa together and get along. That doesn't mean anything.
You think all white people think that?
Yes, I do. I do think that.
You think I think that because I'm a white guy? That I think because they're both Latino, they do the salsa together and love each other?
I'm not saying that you think that, but I bet you we have an understanding that, there's a language.
That's gotta be racist.
There's a connection there. They must get along.
What are you thinking that? But I will say this, though. Last year, as a Mets fan, I had group chats from early on, and I was in denial of this, Danny. I really was. I was in complete denial because there was body language. And I'm not saying Soto has ever been the most demonstrative, let me show you my feelings type of guy. But he stopped doing the Soto shuffle on the batter's box. He stopped doing the few things that did give him a little pizzazz.
You know why? He says, because Francisco made fun of me. That's why.
That's what he said.
He's not very, very kind to me.
And I know that we have since learned that Soto was a little butthurt that when he signed with the Mets, Lindor didn't reach out. Apparently, Aaron Judge was a great teammate, and he didn't feel like when he signed that big deal with the Mets that some of the team leaders, like a Nimmo or a Lindor, apparently no one reached out. And that sounds crazy to me because, not to be an ass kisser, but when this network signed Stugotz to be the new show, I DM'd him yo, man, congrats, welcome to the team. That doesn't make me an ass kisser. I feel like that's polite.
Sounds like you're kissing ass.
Jesus Christ.
As my dad would say.
I'm saying,
what are you doing kissing ass?
I feel like it's a nice gesture to welcome the new guy. And Soto was butthurt. And my friends that are Met fans, my chat with my Met friends, which is now called Stern Sits to Pee. That's the name of our chat now. Should change. He did make some good moves. But my Met chat last year was yo, watch when one of them hit a home run. They're doing high fives and handshakes with Alonso, some of the other guys. Every time Lindor and Soto, it would be just the most casual, the little low five.
I would see it all the time. Everybody speculated
the little low five. And I'd be like, no, they're just being professional. Turns out, they just don't like each other. And can you read what Lindor said to the press yesterday? Because I think this is not good.
Well, they're saying that Francisco Lindor painted an honest picture of the Mets clubhouse when asked about last season, noting that everyone is not best friends. He says, are we all best friends? That's not how it works in the clubhouse. He says they have a good dynamic and root for each other. And that's it.
I don't like that.
They're not all best friends. That's not something you sort of say about your teammates. That rubs my cheeks in a really negative way. I don't want to hear that as a fan. Just keep the illusion alive, too. As a fan, when we started interviewing celebrities and athletes many years ago, when the velvet rope was pulled back a little bit too much, it sort of rubbed me the wrong way. When I realized that NFL players didn't know everyone on the team, but then, of course, it made sense. I get it. There's so many.
53 guys?
Yeah, there's 53 guys. There's special teams, offense, defense. There's a lot of turnover, a lot of
practice players
in and out. But you had this little kid fantasy that they're a team.
Well, you realize,
and you know what it felt like to be on a team. And you're like, but they're a team. When I realized they didn't all know each other's name, I'm like, you don't know your own team? But he's on your team.
But
that's how I felt.
You realize,
when I hear this, I feel the same way. I feel deflated. You're supposed to love each other.
I don't like it. If anything, you want
pretend.
You know how you want people to be genuine and real.
It's like radio. It's like radio shows. You think they're best friends, but when the show's over, they all go their separate ways and they don't talk at all.
Yeah.
That's not what happens on this show.
No, you two actually hang out all the time away from the studio.
Enjoy each other's company.
Sometimes reluctantly, but that's just life.
Yeah.
But we actually all get along, and we communicate all the time. It's it's too much information. I don't like it. It rubs me the wrong way, and to me, it's the opposite of chemistry. Who are these nerds? Is this Devo? Nerds. Break your mama's back. Covino and Rich live from the Fox Sports Radio studio. Ready to tackle your financial goals? Webull makes it simple to start investing. Powerful tools, real-time data, all on one app. Get started at Webull.com or download the Webull app today.
Webull Financial LLC, member SIPC FINRA. Investing involves risk. For more information, visit Webull.com/disclosures.
Now, remember, tomorrow, Brainwave, the game that's sweeping the nation, be part of it. Plus, we get Weekend Hobnobbing going, getting you ready for the weekend. But right now, right quick, it's a show and tell Thursday, and anybody that guessed that I brought in an Aaron Judge Danbury Mint statue, you are correct. Given to me by my mom, my mother. But that's one of my prized possessions. I keep it on my desk at our podcast studio for our Patreon show. And I'm happy to bring that in today to get you fired up.
Well, the closest
for the World Baseball Classic.
The closest to guessing was Wes in Vegas, Wes in Idaho, who said it's the Fugazi MVP, Aaron Judge.
Oh, okay. There he is. Your MVP, Danbury Mint, Aaron Judge right there. I brought that in today. I love that thing.
Oh, and mine?
Rich?
Oh, this is the...
Share with the class.
This is the softball glove of the greatest softball player in the San Fernando Valley.
Al Bundy?
Yours truly, Rich Davis.
Oh.
This is
so
my
that's
glove.
the one you actually use.
This is my glove I use.
How long have you had it?
And this has nothing to do with the fact that I forgot my show and tell, and this was in my trunk. But I figure
Well, show and tell could be anything.
Yeah.
Remember the crap kids used to bring into class?
There's no
That's
rules.
why you ran out to your car?
Yeah.
But how long? You've had that for you've had that for like 20 years, though.
I've
right?
had this glove 20 years now. Covino says it's a bit heavy. Technically, you would say outfielder glove, but I use this at the hot corner. It's big,
But you always tell me you don't like them floppy.
No, when I said I don't like them floppy, I was talking about something else.
Oh, because that glove is extra large and floppy.
This is like 20 years of softball prowess.
Well, to see it, if you missed out, watch what you hear on our YouTube page, Covino and Rich FSR. In fact, our bonus pod continues there, Covino and Rich FSR on YouTube. Overpromised, we're going to talk about unhinged athletes.
Oh.
A la Sean Strickland. We're going to talk your last brain cell. There's a new sport that explores the last brain cell we have as humans, plus who might be asked. We'll discuss that on a new episode of Overpromised next.
You brought up Sean Strickland.
Yeah. Well, we're going to talk about that.
This guy is so unhinged. Like, I almost be like, ye intruders beware, to quote Goonies. If you watch his press conference, he says the most vile, racist, bizarre stuff. You could say equally funny because you're like, is this guy for real? What a maniac. But Danny J, who is our winner?
Karik in Minnesota. I don't know if it's a he or she, but they said the statue is of Covino hitting his 27th Little League home run.
Oh, I like that answer.
That's funny.
Carrick.
So in the chat, we gave you the email info to claim your prize.
Thank you so much.
Or perhaps it's Carrie K.
Carrie K.
Yeah, but it's like Kari. Who's
Karik.
Carrie?
Carrie K. Thank you
Oh,
so
then-
Or
much.
it's Karik.
If she's from Minnesota, she must love my Minnesota spam shirt.
Oh.
Oh, look at that.
Well, hold
Look at
on. It's
that.
getting late early, and I promised you something. I told you I had a bone to pick with the World Baseball Classic, even though I'm super pumped about it.
All right, hold on.
We'll talk about this tomorrow, I guess.
Yeah.
The top 10 hitter rankings came out according to the WBC. And here's my bone. Hey, Rich, what's that stuff I clean my junk with in the shower?
Oh, hogwash?
I think this list is hogwash.
Oh, boy.
And here's why. They got Aaron Judge, my show and tell Danbury Mint statue, this guy right here, the MVP. They got him number 2 to Shohei Ohtani, who's playing for Japan, obviously, another MVP. But they got Shohei as the number 1 hitter in the WBC.
Not the number 1 player.
Now, if it was the number 1 player, I would have no issues with this whatsoever. Overall, there's no debate, no arguing that Shohei Ohtani is your best player in baseball, right? But as far as hitting, give credit where it's due. Aaron Judge is the best hitter in the game, and I have the proof. I got the stats. And if you don't believe me, we'll discuss it tomorrow, I guess, all right?
Is there a list of the best asses? Is Cal Raleigh number 1 on that?
Cal Raleigh.
Because this statue...
And it was a
I
statue.
knew Rich was going to work Cal Raleigh in somehow.
A speed skater was on that list, too,
Because
Rich.
this statue, Aaron Judge got flat ass.
Yeah, I know.
He's no Jake Paul's girlfriend, Jutta.
So
My goodness.
we'll
Gold
talk
medal,
about
gold
it.
medal, not just in skating.
Join us on Overpromise next, all right? Right here on YouTube.
All right, we'll see you there. Until then, arrivederci, baby.
See you in the Overpromise land. Let's
Have
go.
a good one, guys.
Later.